Most crashes are head-on collisions. Let us see just what happens when one vehicle collides with another, or with a stationary object at only 30 kilometers an hour. The result is the same as dropping your children headfirst from a third-floor balcony. Now try to imagine a collision or rollover at 50, 80, 100, 120, 140 kilometers an hour. The human body is not designed to withstand such impacts. In a split second, it is all over. But for any survivor, the nightmare is just beginning. No child who survives even a low-speed crash is likely ever to be the same as before. Brain damage is a life sentence.
Whenever I see a child being brought through those doors into accident and emergency after a car accident, I know that the chances are they are either dead or seriously injured. The mistake that many parents make is that they let their children sit next to them on the front passenger seat while they are driving, without wearing any seatbelts or a suitable restraint. In fact, the seatbelts you find in cars are designed for adults. Children need a different type of restraint. These are special child safety seats which are suitable for children up to the age of around 5 years. Putting your child in a car safety seat is a very easy and civilized way of ensuring that your child is protected from serious head trauma or spinal injury caused in a collision by the child crashing into the hard interior surfaces of the car or flying through the windscreen, for example. Spinal injury often results in a lifelong disability. A child may never walk again. It is nothing more distressing for a doctor than to have to tell a mother and father that their child is dead. Car accidents happen. Some people survive. Other people do not survive or are crippled for life. Make sure you and your family are not among the unlucky ones. Go safely and remember, each of you is a shepherd and each responsible for his flock.
Next time you go to carry your child, unrestrained in a vehicle, stop and think. Think of the potentially horrifying consequences. A second's thought is better than a lifetime of regret. And don't fool yourself that it is always going to happen to someone else and not to your child. You may be a good driver with a clean record, but it is always someone else that is going to hit you, and there is nothing you can do to protect your child at the moment of impact. The trip, just around the corner, to the shops may be the last one your child ever makes.
Saleh, what do you think of this car seat? It's good. It keeps the child safe and secure in the car.
Yeah, well, what's the use of it? I just don't see the point.
Well, it's more comfortable for the children sitting in the car. It's good.
You think that's a good price though? 76 riyals?
The important thing is not the price. The important thing is that the children are safe in the car.
Yeah, but come on. What's the point? How many times would we ever use it?
No, it's not a question.
Like now, we have come here. It's fine with you with one child on your lap and the others in the back of the car.
No.
Anyway, what's the big deal? Have you ever come to any harm while I was driving?
Your choices for your family can literally mean the difference between life and death. The good news is that you can keep your child safe by properly restraining them in a child seat appropriate to their age in the back of the vehicle. Do not fool yourself that children are safer in the back if they are not wearing a restraint. In a collision, unbelted rear seat passengers will be thrown violently forward and can easily break the neck of someone in the front seat. Make no mistake, unbelted rear passengers, even children, endanger everyone in the car. They increase the risk of death for the driver and front seat passenger by 5 times.
Is this your car?
Yes, this is it.
Oh my goodness, who are those children?
My cousins and a neighbor's child.
How do you put up with this every day?
I got used to it.
Isn't it dangerous for them standing and jumping around like that?
I always tell them to put their belts on, but they don't listen to me.
It would be better if they put their belts on.
Yes, I know, but what can I do? What are you doing? Go sit in the back.
I don't want to.
Move over. You're still a small boy. Why don't you put your seatbelts on? Why don't you tell them?
Behind, okay, no problem.
Watch out!
It is everyone's business, driver or passenger, to ensure that everyone else is buckled up. As the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Each of you is a shepherd, and each responsible for his flock."
Many people think that rally driving is an exciting and glamorous activity. But let me tell you, driving at speed in unpredictable conditions is a risky business. The key to survival is concentration, training, dedication, and above all, attention to safety. My car is built for speed but designed for safety. Unlike an ordinary car, it has extra features to protect my head and neck in the event of a crash or rollover. Make no mistake about it. The road is an increasingly dangerous place, but you can take steps to protect yourself and everyone who rides with you. Have no doubt about it. Seat belts save lives. The simple act of buckling up can mean the difference between life and death. Make sure you buckle up every time, every trip, and everyone.
A lot of people think that if I'm sitting in the back, that I will be safe and that it's the best place for me. But of course, that's not true. By far, the most important thing is the seatbelt. It takes 2 seconds to fasten your seatbelt. Just 2 seconds. And if you look at yourself and think that your life is not worth 2 seconds, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense at all.
No matter how short the journey, make sure you fasten your seatbelt. Every time, every trip, every one.
Your children's safety is non-negotiable. As parents, you never forget the joy of holding your newborn for the very first time, or the dreams you have for them as they grow. Most parents would gladly sacrifice their own lives for their children. Don't let your children sacrifice their lives for your lack of judgment. As the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Each of you is a shepherd, and each responsible for his flock."